one time I repeated one. It was by accident, of course.
For decades, Vanna White has been the epitome of grace and elegance on Wheel of Fortune. But behind that flawless smile, something much darker has been brewing. Vanna has kept it hidden from the world, but now a shocking truth is out. A heartbreaking diagnosis is threatening to change her life forever. But it's not just Vanna who's been affected. Her husband has been forced to step forward and speak out. What he says will leave you speechless and reveal the hidden struggle they've been facing. This is the truth about Vanna's battle. Untold, raw, and more emotional than anyone could imagine. The clock is ticking, and Vanna's life will never be the same. Are you ready for the shocking revelation? What was she hiding? For years, Vanna White has been known for her flawless appearance and grace. But beneath the polished image, she was silently battling a health issue no one knew about. Her life, seemingly perfect, was anything but. As the shocking diagnosis comes to light, the world is left wondering why Vanna kept it hidden for so long. What drove her to keep this secret from her fans, and how has it impacted her life behind the scenes? Vanna's career was always her top priority, but the toll her health was taking on her started to become impossible to ignore. Despite her personal struggles, she maintained her image, never once letting her fans see the true weight of her condition. Why did she choose to carry this burden in silence? The diagnosis wasn't just a minor setback. It was a life-altering situation that would change everything she knew. Now, the truth is out, and the public is finally learning about the real Vanna White. The pressure of living up to the world's expectations while hiding such a personal struggle became overwhelming. Vanna's decision to keep her health condition private for so long speaks volumes about her resilience and determination. But with her diagnosis now out in the open, everything has changed. Fans are left stunned, and questions are piling up. What has Vanna been going through, and why did she wait until now to reveal it? In a rare moment of vulnerability, Vanna's husband has spoken out about her condition, providing an inside look at the emotional toll this health battle has taken on both of them. The revelation about her health isn't just a personal moment. It's a life-altering truth that everyone must now face. Vanna White's husband breaks his silence. Vanna's husband has always been a private man, but now he's breaking his silence to share the truth about what Vanna has been going through. In a deeply emotional statement, he opens up about the pain and fear they've both experienced since her diagnosis. What made him finally speak out? And what does he reveal about their personal lives that no one knew? The couple's bond has always been a private one, with Vanna's husband staying out of the limelight. But the gravity of Vanna's health situation has forced him to step forward and reveal the struggles they've faced behind closed doors. His words are filled with love, fear, and an overwhelming sense of helplessness. The man who's always stood beside Vanna now has to face the reality of her condition, and the world is finally learning what their life has been like in private. The emotional weight of his words reveals a side of their relationship that fans have never seen. Vanna's husband describes the toll her health struggles have taken on their family and how they've tried to cope with the uncertainty. Their love story, once thought to be flawless, is now marked by the intense emotional turmoil they both face. His decision to share their truth is not only brave, but it's a heartbreaking reminder of the power of love and vulnerability in times of crisis. What does Vanna's husband reveal about their life behind the scenes? And how has his role changed since Vanna's diagnosis? The answers are shocking, and they shed light on the incredible strength they both possess in the face of adversity. The diagnosis that shook her world. The moment Vanna White received her diagnosis was a turning point in her life. What followed was a battle that no one could have predicted, one that would test not only her physical health, but her emotional and mental strength. The world has known Vanna as a constant presence on TV, but the truth behind the scenes is far more complex. What exactly is she fighting, and how is it affecting her ability to carry on with her career? Vanna's health battle has taken her on an emotional journey that's left her questioning everything. The diagnosis wasn't just a physical struggle. It was a test of her resolve, her ability to keep going despite overwhelming odds. The world didn't know what she was going through, but now that the truth is out, it's impossible to ignore. What has Vanna been doing behind the scenes to cope with this diagnosis? And how has it impacted her role on Wheel of Fortune? The gravity of Vanna's condition has made it clear that her life will never be the same. Her career, her family, and her future have all been affected by this sudden and devastating change. But despite the overwhelming nature of her diagnosis, Vanna has shown incredible resilience. The battle is far from over, and the question now is, how will she continue to navigate the challenges ahead? This chapter isn't just about Vanna's diagnosis. It's about the strength of the woman behind the iconic TV personality. Her fight is only just beginning, and the world is watching as she takes on this new chapter in her life. The dark truth behind Vanna's diagnosis. Was it caused by something much deeper? As the world grapples with Vanna White's shocking diagnosis, new whispers are beginning to circulate. Could there be a deeper, darker cause behind her health struggles that no one saw coming? Her diagnosis isn't just a physical ailment. It's the tip of an iceberg that could unravel everything we thought we knew about Vanna's life. The truth is more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Was this health battle caused by something else entirely? Something Vanna has kept hidden for years? Behind closed doors, sources close to Vanna are hinting at a much more complex backstory to her condition. While the public has been led to believe it's just a medical issue, insiders suggest that there may be emotional and psychological factors at play that have been silently fueling her struggle. Could the stress of living in the public eye, the weight of expectations, and the toll of her career have contributed to the onset of her condition? And if so, what else has Vanna been hiding from the world? Her husband, in a rare moment of vulnerability, hinted that Vanna's health issues might not just be physical, but emotional. The pressures of fame, personal battles, and even her family life could have been pushing her to the brink. This revelation paints a much darker picture of Vanna's life than the world has ever seen. The camera never captured the true burden she carried for so long. The fears, the anxieties, the toll that years of relentless public scrutiny took on her mental health. The explosive possibility that Vanna's diagnosis was a result of emotional and mental strain is turning everything upside down. If the root cause is indeed deeper than anyone realized, how does that change the way we view her journey? And could this revelation make the world rethink how it treats its most beloved stars? The truth, once fully exposed, may shock us all to the core. How Vanna's diagnosis has affected her loved ones. As Vanna White faces her heartbreaking diagnosis, it's not just her that's suffering. It's her entire family. Her husband has been by her side every step of the way, supporting her through the darkest days. But as the emotional weight of her condition continues to take its toll, their family has been forced to confront their worst fears. How has Vanna's health struggle affected those closest to her? And what does her family say about the battle they're all facing? In the privacy of their home, Vanna's family has rallied around her, but behind closed doors, the strain has been undeniable. Vanna's husband opens up about the emotional toll this battle has taken on them all, sharing the fear and uncertainty that has become part of their daily lives. The family dynamic has shifted dramatically, as Vanna's diagnosis has forced them to put everything on hold while they focus on her health. The emotional pain isn't just felt by Vanna, it's felt by everyone who loves her. Her husband's courage in speaking out about their family's struggle is a powerful reminder of the invisible battles that many families face. The diagnosis has forced them to reconsider their priorities, and now they must find strength in each other as they face an uncertain future. What does Vanna's family have to say about her fight? And how are they coping with the reality of her condition? The answers are heartbreaking and show just how deeply Vanna's illness has impacted everyone around her. The hard decision. As Vanna White battles her diagnosis, she faces an impossible decision: her career or her health. For decades, Vanna has been the face of Wheel of Fortune, but now her health is demanding her full attention. The question is, can she continue her iconic role on TV while managing her condition? Or will she be forced to step away from the spotlight to focus on recovery? Vanna's decision to step back from her career, if that's what she chooses, is a difficult one. For years, Wheel of Fortune has been her life, and the thought of leaving it behind is almost unbearable. But her health is deteriorating, and she must prioritize her well-being over everything else. What does this mean for her future on the show? And how will the producers and her fans react to the possibility of Vanna's departure? The emotional weight of this decision is immense. Vanna has given her life to her career, and the thought of leaving it behind is almost too much to bear. But the question remains, is her health worth sacrificing for the sake of her career? Or will she make the ultimate choice to walk away and focus on what matters most? As Vanna faces this decision, her fans are left wondering what the future holds for their beloved TV icon. Will she continue to grace the screen? Or is this the end of an era for Wheel of Fortune? The family's heartbreaking decision. As Vanna White's health continues to decline, her family is facing an agonizing decision. How do they continue to support her while managing the crushing reality of her diagnosis? The emotional toll on her family is unimaginable, and each day brings a new challenge. Vanna's husband has been her rock, but even he is starting to feel the strain. What is the family's plan for the future, and how are they coping with the unknown? Vanna's diagnosis has thrown her family into a whirlwind of uncertainty. Her husband, who has always been her greatest supporter, now finds himself torn between his love for Vanna and the overwhelming responsibilities that come with caring for someone in her condition. Together, they are facing an uphill battle, one that's not just about Vanna's health, but about what the future holds for their family. How do you prepare for a future that's uncertain and constantly shifting? The emotional weight of Vanna's condition has begun to take a toll on her family. The once thriving home has become a place of quiet tension, where every decision feels like it could be the wrong one. Vanna's husband has spoken openly about the struggles they face, admitting that there are no easy answers. The family has been forced to reconsider their priorities, and they're now navigating a path filled with fear and uncertainty. As the family adjusts to the new reality, one thing is clear: Vanna's health is the top priority. But what does that mean for her family's future, and how will they move forward together? This chapter exposes the difficult choices they are being forced to make. The courage she's showing in the face of adversity. Despite the crushing diagnosis and the overwhelming odds, Vanna White has shown an incredible amount of emotional strength. Her family, friends, and fans have watched as she faces this life-changing moment with dignity and determination. But what's going on behind the scenes? Is this the real Vanna? Or is she just putting on a brave face for the world? Vanna's emotional strength has been nothing short of inspiring. In interviews and private moments, she's displayed a resilience that leaves everyone around her in awe. But it's impossible not to wonder, how is she really feeling? The pressure of maintaining such a public persona while dealing with her health has been immense. In private, she's allowed herself moments of vulnerability, but in public, she's the same composed, graceful figure we've come to know. Is this strength truly coming from within? Or is it a facade to shield her from the harsh reality? As Vanna pushes forward, her courage is on full display. She's refusing to let the diagnosis define her, choosing instead to focus on what she can still do. But the emotional toll is clear. Her husband has expressed concern about how much longer Vanna can keep up this brave front. The question now is how much longer she can continue this fight. Will her strength hold, or will the pressure finally break her? Vanna's incredible emotional fortitude has earned her the admiration of fans and family alike. But as time passes and the reality of her condition becomes more severe, her strength will continue to be tested. The true depth of her courage will be revealed as she faces what's to come. The world watches. The news of Vanna White's diagnosis has sent shockwaves through her loyal fan base. For decades, Vanna has been a beloved television icon, known for her charm and warmth. But now, as her health deteriorates, her fans are left grappling with the reality that their beloved star is in crisis. How are they coping with this news, and what do they have to say about her condition? Vanna's fans have flooded social media with messages of love and support. But there's an undercurrent of fear and sadness. For many, Vanna has been a constant in their lives, a familiar and comforting presence. The thought of her health struggle is almost too much to bear. Fans are now asking how this will affect her role on Wheel of Fortune, and whether they will ever see their favorite TV personality the same way again. The outpouring of support from Vanna's fans has been overwhelming, but it's also a reminder of the very real impact her health crisis is having on her fan base. For those who have grown up with Vanna, the news of her diagnosis feels like a personal loss. How does Vanna handle the weight of knowing her health struggle is affecting so many people? As the world watches, Vanna has remained silent on social media, leaving her fans to wonder what's next. The love and concern are palpable, but so is the uncertainty. What does the future hold for Vanna White and her fans? The bond between her and her followers has never been stronger, but the question of how they will all navigate this crisis together looms large. Vanna faces the unthinkable. Vanna White's diagnosis has led to a dramatic shift in her life. She is no longer just the smiling face on Wheel of Fortune. She's a woman facing a deeply personal and life-altering battle. The question now is how she will face the future. Will she continue to work through her diagnosis, or will she step away to focus on her health and her family? In this chapter, Vanna is forced to confront the unthinkable. The possibility that her career, which has defined her life for decades, may no longer be in the cards. The decision to continue working or to take a step back is one that weighs heavily on her. How will she reconcile her passion for her career with the undeniable reality of her health? Vanna's heart is torn between her love for Wheel of Fortune and the need to prioritize her health. The world knows Vanna as a television icon, but this chapter reveals a new side of her, a side that must face the hard choices that come with illness. How will Vanna handle the unthinkable? Will she continue to grace the stage, or will she step away from the limelight to fight for her future? The emotional stakes are higher than ever as Vanna faces this monumental crossroads. The decision she makes will change everything. For her, her family, and her fans. What will she choose? The unseen battle. While Vanna White's physical health battle is public knowledge, there's an unseen struggle that she's been facing in private, her mental health. As the diagnosis takes its toll on her body, it has also begun to wear on her mind. The stress, fear, and uncertainty about the future are starting to take their toll on Vanna in ways that few could understand. What has been going on behind closed doors, and how is Vanna coping with the mental and emotional side of her illness? For years, Vanna's public image has been that of calm and composure, but the pressure of dealing with her health issues has been overwhelming. Behind the camera, she has struggled with anxiety, depression, and the heavy emotional burden of living with an illness that has no clear end in sight. Her husband, who has been there through it all, has opened up about how they are navigating the mental health challenges that come with a chronic condition. But even as she faces this, Vanna remains determined not to let the public see her breaking. Mental health struggles are often hidden behind the public persona of celebrities, and Vanna is no exception. But as her fans rally around her, they are starting to see a more vulnerable side of her than ever before. Vanna's emotional resilience has been tested in ways she never expected, and now she is fighting not only for her body, but for her peace of mind. How long can she continue to mask the inner turmoil she's feeling? This chapter explores the emotional toll that Vanna's illness is taking on her, both physically and mentally. Her battle isn't just with the diagnosis, it's with the fear, anxiety, and isolation that often accompany such a devastating condition. Can Vanna find peace amidst the chaos, or will this unseen struggle eventually become too much to handle? How Vanna's fans are coping with the news. The world is watching, and Vanna White's fans are heartbroken as the news of her diagnosis spreads. For decades, Vanna has been a symbol of grace, a constant in their lives. The thought of her facing such a difficult health struggle is nearly too much to bear. But how are her fans coping with the news, and how has their perception of her changed since they learned of her condition? The outpouring of love and support has been overwhelming, with fans from around the world expressing their concern for Vanna's well-being. Some are sending messages of encouragement, while others are devastated by the news. For many, Vanna has been a fixture in their lives for so long that the idea of losing her, whether to health or retirement, is difficult to accept. Her fans are struggling to understand how this beloved icon is now facing the battle of her life. In this chapter, we explore the deep connection that Vanna has with her fans and how they are processing the news. The heartbreak and uncertainty are felt on both sides as the public comes to terms with the reality that their beloved TV star is no longer invincible. How will Vanna's fans support her as she navigates this difficult time? And what does this mean for her relationship with them moving forward? The question remains, will Vanna be able to keep the connection with her fans strong through this journey? Or will the weight of her health struggle cause a shift in the dynamic between them? One thing is certain, her fans will be with her every step of the way. Will she continue to shine? As Vanna White faces her health crisis, fans are wondering, what will her legacy be? Will she continue to shine as one of TV's most beloved figures? Or will her health force her to step away from the limelight for good? The future is uncertain, and Vanna is now faced with the question of whether to continue her iconic career or retire to focus on her well-being. What decision will she make? For years, Vanna has been synonymous with Wheel of Fortune, and her absence would leave an unfillable void in the show's history. But Vanna's health is the priority now, and fans are beginning to wonder if it's time for her to take a step back. The idea of her leaving television is difficult to imagine, but her health struggles may make that decision inevitable. What will Vanna's final chapter look like? Vanna's legacy is undeniable, but the question of whether she can continue her career is hanging in the balance. This chapter explores what Vanna's career has meant to the millions of fans who have watched her for years, and whether she can continue to contribute to her legacy without sacrificing her health. Should she step down from the spotlight to ensure a long and healthy life? Or will she keep going, pushing through her struggles for the love of her fans and career? Vanna's choice will define the next phase of her life and career. The decision to step away from Wheel of Fortune or continue is a difficult one, but it will ultimately be about her health and happiness. Whatever choice she makes, Vanna's legacy will live on, inspiring future generations with her resilience and grace. The final decision, Vanna's future unfolds. The time has come for Vanna White to make the most difficult decision of her life. What does the future hold for her now that the world knows about her diagnosis? Will she continue to grace the stage on Wheel of Fortune for years to come? Or will she step into a new phase of her life, focusing on her health and family? This is the final decision that will shape the rest of her story. Vanna's health, career, and family are all at a crossroads, and she must decide where to go from here. After years of working tirelessly on television, she now faces the ultimate test: to live for herself and her health, or to continue to perform for her fans. The final choice is hers, and it's one that will define her legacy and future. As she contemplates her decision, Vanna has one thing in mind. She wants to ensure her well-being while leaving a lasting impact on the world. Whatever choice she makes, it will be made with love, strength, and the desire to inspire. The legacy of Vanna White is not just about Wheel of Fortune. It's about resilience, courage, and the ability to fight even when the odds seem insurmountable. The world is waiting for her next move. Will Vanna's journey end with a new chapter or a quiet goodbye? Whatever happens, her story will inspire us all, and as her fans, we stand behind her, no matter what the future holds. Vanna White's health battle has been a life-altering journey, and the world has watched with bated breath as she faces this challenge head-on. Will she continue to grace the stage, or will her health force her to step away for good? What do you think is next for Vanna, and how can we best support her during this time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on Vanna's inspiring journey. Stay tuned for the next video. You won't want to miss it.